While debugging some languages like JavaScript in VS Code, you can actually use the debugger to change the value of certain variables and see how those changes would affect the program. Here I have a simple JavaScript program, and I'm going to start debugging it, and we're going to run this as node code. And now we have the debugger launched, and we've hit a breakpoint here on line 5, which is just going to log the value of a here, which would normally be 1. Let's say that we actually wanted to change this, though, and explore what would happen if a were something else. So to do that, I'm going to go over to the variables view here and find the entry for a, and then I can right-click on this and say set value. I'm going to change this to 1, 2, 3. I could also just double-click on a and change this to a different type if I really wanted to as well, so ABC here. And now when I step over the code, instead of logging 1, as you would expect, if I open the debug console, it is actually logged ABC. So it is to log the updated value we have here. Now in the JavaScript debug console, I can also do something like a equals 1, 2, 3 like this as well. And that would also update the value in the program. Now, that was just a simple value, but let's say we had something more complicated like this object here, so foo. Let's find foo over here in the variables view. And again, I can expand foo, and if I wanted to, I could change the value of bar here just by clicking on it and saying bar is now going to be 1, 2, 3. But if I also wanted to, I could change the entire value of foo here. So I'm going to double click on that and then go in here in the object literal and say that bar is now going to be date.now, and I'm going to have a new property baz, which is going to be 1, 2, 3. And now you see that in the variable view, the value for foo has been updated. And when I step over this line, sure enough, it logs the value for date.now when I updated it over there. And then if I step over this next line, which is logging all the properties of foo, it now has those two properties, so both bar and baz. So not all languages that VS Code can debug support changing values while debugging, but for languages that do, it can be a useful technique to explore program execution.